past my off-brand vineyard vines. The Summer I Turned Pretty is a book series turned TV series by Miss Jenny Han herself, author/producer of another iconic young adult book series turned live action, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Her works tend to include the theme of rich half-Korean Asians who obsess over white boys, except an EXO kitty. The Summer I Turned Pretty is a story about first love, first heartbreak, and the magic of that one perfect summer. With season 2 just within reach right now, I thought I would recap the whole show for you, episode by episode, with weird details and passion, and then later adding in some of my season 2 predictions if we have time. This recap is going to be a long, slightly insane ride, so grab some snacks. Like me, I have coffee for Conrad, drunken noodles for Jeremiah because he's the underage drinking in here is insane, and then a little Costco muffin for Cam because he's just the sweetest thing ever. Let's get into it. Hey guys, so guess what? I bought a brand spanking new mic for this video, and it turned out to be absolute ass. So I'm re-recording this many days later. The story opens with a little backstory into their big family. Our main character is Belly. Why the fuck is she named Belly? I don't understand. Like, when I first started hearing about the show, I didn't know that was what she would be called throughout the entire thing. But anyway, she's 15. She supposedly turned pretty because she no longer wears glasses and braces, and they act as if it's the most dramatic makeover they've ever seen. It's present day, and her best friend is named Taylor, which I know Jenny Han wrote this book and loves it based on Taylor Swift, etc. But personally, I highly dislike Taylor throughout the show, which I'll get more into later on. Belly/Lola Tongue starts screaming Can't Do Better by Kim Petras in the car, and that was when I thought, wow, I like her, when really I just like Lola, please marry me. Also in the car, we get introduced to Steven, her brother, and Laurel, her mother. Me personally, I love Laurel, but what I don't love is the actress's acting. Oh my lord, it drove me insane. The way she delivered all her lines, it just seemed like the most unnatural thing ever, but I also blame the writer's lip. Later in the episode, we revealed that she is a recent divorcee, but they're on good terms. Her dad also has a new girlfriend already. She stops by the gas station to grab some snacks and gets hits on by the first boy this summer. We're just getting started. This is kind of the beginning of the whole turning pretty concept, where it just turns her life around, how boys never looked at her and only looked at Taylor. But anyway, he invites her to this bonfire that she ends up going to later. She takes out her gorgeous, luscious, thick, voluminous hair and adjusts herself, and she has a moment. I love the score. You know the little xylophone tune I'm talking about? But anyway, the soundtrack, however, they arrive. Jeremiah, youngest son of Susanna, Laurel's best friend, comes out. Personally, I love his reaction. It's simply like a glance, like wow, and casual, not awkward. But fucking Conrad, the eldest, comes out in his sweats, and Lover by Miss Taylor plays, and it's just so badly placed. Like, it's like they barely put any effort into how they implement these expensive ass songs. But anyway, he comes out, and the first thing he says is, I liked you better with glasses. Please shut the So Laurel's an author and has this big book event later in the local bookstore, in which she runs into this sort of competitor of hers, Cleveland Castillo, and thus begins enemies to lovers. And honestly, I don't think I need to recap a lot of their relationship, because we might all still be in shock of what we saw in this kids show. It's teens show. I don't know. Straight from only the first episode, I immediately shipped Jer and Steven. Like, look at them. Are you kidding me? Their chemistry. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, their friendship is so cool. Like, no. They're gay. I'm also filming this on the last day of Pride Month. Also, this isn't really relevant, but Belly had a cat named Mochi and it died. Like, and Jer was the only one who knew and like gave condolences. Okay, so now we're introduced to the whole like event thing that's happening this season, which is how Susanna signed up Belly to be a debutante. Personally, I think it was a little weird of her to push her dreams onto Belly just because of her condition, but it just feels like, I don't know, weird. But anyway, Belly ends up enjoying it, so it's all good. Belly goes out for one of her little night swims, and she's just trying to make conversation and be chill with Conrad smoking a blunt around her. And he decides to pull, God, do you memorize every single thing I've ever said? And I want to fucking stroke. Conrad, apologist, I love you, but I also hate you. He has reasons, but not excuses. And I don't know how he was in the book. I can imagine like the inner dialogue and stuff would help us understand him more, but I didn't read the books. And the way Belly keeps giving him more chances is what gets me, but I guess it makes sense the way she's known him her entire life. It's bonfire time. They play Up by Cardi B. This was actually fine. She and Steven get into it, she eats some sand, and she meets Nicole, Conrad's little love interest. She sits depressed on the beach and meets sweet, sweet Cameron. She and Cameron, oh my lord, they actually have chemistry. They're in the same grade. He's the sweetest person ever. It's okay, Belly has to go for the walking red flag she's been holding on to for 8 years. Connor gets into a little drunken fight over Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo. I was gonna wear my when refilming this, but I look up my fit. Okay, so Belly thinks she can somehow do something about that little fight, and then ends up eating shit again with like a nasty ass bruise on her face. Cops come, so they leave, and Belly and Cam kiss, which has got her giggling and kicking her feet, but then they get caught by the cops, and Laurel lectures them. Laurel confronts Conrad for his like off vibes, because as we know, he knows stuff, but obviously we don't get an answer until the last fucking episode. Personally, I don't think that was enough time for me to process his actions to help him forgive him a little with dealing with that the entire season. The episode ends with 1 step forward, 3 steps back. We got no fucking context for this song besides the fact that it's sad sounding and by Olivia. This infuriated me so much, especially with the meaning of the song for such a mid-conflict. But the next morning, they meet at sunrise at the beach and have a little moment, I guess, which, by the way, how Belly handles Conrad's smoking, it really satisfies me. Like, the way she deals with things and makes comebacks or like response to things, I love her. So I let more lateral light in to just like change things up. The episode opens right after the end of the last, with a little montage under Dover Beach by Baby Queen. If you just go back to June 2022 when this was released, I was fresh off the Heartstopper high and went crazy over this because Baby Queen was like a big star for the Heartstopper vibe as well. But anyway, I'll be talking about the music a lot if you couldn't already tell. We get more into the debutante lore. Everyone keeps telling Belly it's a horrible idea and it's not her. I'm just gonna leave it there. They go dress shopping and play Ice Cream by Blackpink and Selena. I'm going to admit that when I was rewatching for this recap, it's honestly not bad. So I understand the editor's point of views when having to experience it so much, but as a first-time watcher, it was just jump scare after jump scare. I heard that Susanna just really wanted to see Belly in a white dress because she won't be there when Belly gets married, which is Sweet.
Tell me the truth. Do I look like a fool?
Yes. She goes to this first Deb meeting where, haha, what do you know? She's in between Nicole and Shayla. Fucking love Shayla, by the way. She's so waif. They start bonding a little, you know, girl talk. But then she runs over to Cam and they are so fucking cute again. They make plans to go to the drive-in movie theater, which of course they had to. It's cute. They slowly hold hands. He's a marine biology nerd. It's perfect. What could go wrong? Well, while Laurel is getting acquainted with Cleveland, the boys are bored at the book event and have the wonderful idea to go to the drive-in. Steven brought it up. Jared thought it was a bad idea. And Conras was like, Slay, I want to interrupt Belly, even though I treated her like shit and I'm with Nicole. Anyway, I think we all know what happened. And just ruined the beautiful romantic tension. But she calls him out at the end, and I love her sometimes. However, they get back and make out. Steven and Shayla get heated at the beach, and my man is in a chokehold and honestly same. And then he sees titties and same. And Teenage Dirtbag played through these scenes, which was pretty fine, to be honest. To end it all off, I will leave you with these two clips.
You spent your Saturday night crashing my first date for fun.
Why don't you go look in the mirror some more?
More natural light. Glasses, so I can see shit. It's Belly's birthday, her sweet 16, everyone's excited, and Conrad is just there, per usual. They pass out gifts, yay, and I think because Susanna gave Belly a necklace that Conrad was just like, oh, okay, mine is lamer, which, okay. Okay, so basically if you don't remember, Belly and Conrad have this whole thing with Infinity, so he got her an Infinity necklace, which you'll see in the season 2 trailer. So obviously it's her birthday, so Taylor's coming over, so Jer is letting Belly be a hazard on the road on the way to pick her up. She talks about some of her insecurities with Taylor and how she's always felt like the supporting character. Speaking of insecurities, sweet, sweet Steven feels a little insecure being with Shayla due to how expensive her lifestyle is and that he wants to feel good enough for her. But to our amazing shock, he does not communicate these insecurities. Anyway, back to Taylor and Steven. We begin to see that 1, she's got a little crush on him, and 2, she's that friend who doesn't let Belly have other friends and literally says, quote, I'm kind of freaked out about your glow up, and makes her promise that they'll always be best friends after seeing her make 1 girlfriend. I can't, like, oh. But in a way, I'm glad that she was honest about her feelings, and I think she knows that it's not good to think that. Maybe. It's birthday dinner time. As a reminder, Cam is a vegetarian. He awkwardly kisses Belly at the table to make a point. We learned that Belly shat in the bathtub once and Steven pissed in the fireplace. It's time for Nicole's party when we get to the best part of the show, Jer and this guy. Anyway, I just wish she'd stop there. Taylor and Steven hook up in one of the rooms at the party. Belly catches them. They fight. Taylor fucking accuses Belly of being the self-absorbed one for not noticing her crush on Steven when that shouldn't be an expectation. Also, she's so fucking tired hearing about the Deb ball. I'm so sorry, Taylor, that you're not happy for your best friend having fun. Okay, so this whole time, it's just been, when is Belly gonna ask Cam to be her date at the ball? Speaking of, and then Cam went and asked Belly if she likes Jeremiah, which... But then she goes, you mean Conrad? Bitch, why? And then she never asked him to be her date, so... The ship has sunk, unfortunately for me. The next morning, she goes on a muffin run with Jer to avoid Taylor and finds Conrad's gift when looking for the keys. She also finds a condom for absolutely no reason. after she awkwardly says goodbye to Taylor, and Laurel foreshadows some Susanna stuff. She says cherish friendships and that they might not last forever or something. Belly and Steven have a nice little sibling talk, and you know, Steven talks about his insecurities with Shayla. The episode ends with Beach Baby by Bon Iver, and then for her birthday wish, Belly wonders if she really wishes for Conrad now, which goddamn, a single boy has been her single wish since she was little, makes me. And finally, we find out that Susanna has cancer again, but this time it's terminal, and all she wants is one last perfect summer, aka not telling anybody about it, which I I do have my opinions on, but I think this video is long enough. Then this won't matter. It's the 4th episode. We're in the second half of the season. In the intro with the juxtaposition of like that beautiful, gorgeous like shot of the swimming pool and that xylophone tune, it just gets me for what goes down in this show, especially this episode. It's the 4th of July, and I just noticed 4th episode, 4th of July. I love that. But anyway, Lil does this little voiceover where she says, like, in the past summers, I was just there, but this summer, I have friends. Okay, surprise, surprise, Belly's dad and new girlfriend are coming for the 4th, and the boy's dad, Adam, couldn't make it. Laurel innocently contacts him, unbeknownst to Susanna. But then there's a scene that nearly made me want to turn it off.
Is this what it would be like if we were older?
Belly's dad's girlfriend arrives, and she's hot and 27. One thing I want to note is how lightly the show portrays underage drinking as well. The whole show really tries to be woke and relatable, but sometimes it gets to the point where I know like full-on kids are watching this, and Belly, a freshly turned 16-year-old, is casually drinking margaritas that taste like Slurpees, and nobody around her is like the slightest bit genuinely concerned. And down on the beach because it's 4th of July or whatever, and Belly's just going down on those margaritas one by one, and ignoring what I just went on about, she is such a funny drunk and lets it slip that to Shayla that Taylor and Steven kissed. And also trips and makes Susanna fall and drop the cake. It's okay, I forgive her. She and Cam are so sweet, you know. He was making sure she was hydrated and giving everything. God, I am Team Cam if you didn't already know. Okay, then we also get that cute ass shower scene where Belly's watching Conrad shower, outside shower, and confronts him about the necklace that she found. But meanwhile, Adam has arrived. And we start to see what's going on with him and Susanna. She's always wanting him to go away. He's trying to get friendly with her. Well, turns out men are just pigs, as we know. And he cheated on her while she was in chemo. I don't want to get more into the adult storyline, but I feel like it's pretty central to the plot, but I'm also boring everyone. But basically Laurel and Susanna have beef now because Laurel's telling Susanna that she's making horrible life choices. Also, Conrad has daddy issues. Okay, so Steven's storyline. Honestly, can we please talk about more about Steven? I kind of love him. He and Shayla had this whole thing where she pulled the, it's not like we're exclusive, right? And he fucked up. To be fair, girly manipulation is real. But anyway, he made up with her and just talks about how obsessed and mesmerized he is with her. And just, so back to the adults, Laurel gets laid. In case you forgot, which I can't imagine you did, I think we all remember that very vividly. After that, she and Belly have a cute little combo in the kitchen about love, and Belly talks about how she doesn't feel fireworks with Cam. Like, bitch, if you want me to believe that, then why do they always have such good chemistry in the scenes? I blame the producers. And wow, guess what? She goes out for a swim and Cam is there with literal fireworks. Guess what song is playing? Fucking False God, I don't think you understand how much I love False God and how much this means to me. I don't think you understand how much. It kind of ruined the scene, but also it's kind of good at the same time. I have mixed emotions on how it was used. Anyway, they almost fucking kiss, but Jeremiah decides to be a little silly and goofy and then set off a firework to interrupt them. End of episode. I just want to jump in and say I'm so sorry for the way I deliver some of my lines in this episode recap. It just seems like so unnatural, and I'm sorry. The episode begins with a cute little flashback of young Belly and Conrad teaching her how to shag. And I was honestly cringing so hard when I first watched, but now it kind of hits. It's kind of cute, not gonna lie. And like all flashback scenes, we need a little parallel transition to present day. It's Walt's lesson time, and Belly, who has like 4 guys coming after her, is the only one without a dance partner. Nicole becomes her temporary partner as her dumb sister, which is honestly so funny. And Nicole deserves so much better. But Jeremiah jumps in and changes the song to So Pretty, and everyone starts vibing. And honestly, that scene had me giggling and shit, but the mommies make up super easily and then take edibles. Then we finally get to part I've been dreading. Belly and Cam have this perfect little picnic on the beach, whale watching, and Belly's just like, I wish I was with Conrad. Shut the fuck up. And she turns him down, and he's super sweet with it, obviously. And Bruno Major is playing through this, which was just salt to the wound. Back to the stoned mommies. Susanna is painting this horrible portrait of Jer because she's stoned, and makes a comment of how much of a good brother figure he is to Belly. Honestly, I think that comment might be the only thing that really sets off why Jer might have feelings for Belly. Okay, so it's been building since the last episode, but I haven't really touched on it till now. Steven's got connections and got into serving like the area of the country club where all the elite rich whites come to gamble and shit. And did you know the thing with rich old white men is that you probably won't be buddy-buddy with them if you're a person of color for long, because guess what? They're probably gonna be racist. And that's what happened. I think a lot of people just found that part of the show unnecessary and didn't really serve anything to the plot, which I sort of agree with. Anyway, his boss figure reminds him to fuck them and take their money, which is such slay advice. Back at the house, Belly is all giddy from bringing Cam's heart and comes up to Conrad. Sorry, I keep forgetting his name. Oh my god. Anyway, she brings up the fact that they almost kissed last night, and he's like, what? And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, okay, fine. Do you want me to apologize? And she's like, what the fuck? And so she says, I'm done waiting for you. And I was screaming. I was so happy she said that, but it don't matter anyway. As a reminder, the mommies are still high as fuck. They're walking along the beach, and then suddenly, wow, a nostalgic bar they used to go to. I honestly really like this scene. I think that it's really sweet and funny. But basically they're high, and Susanna makes out with this guy the entire night to pay for their drinks, and then Laurel leaves with Cleveland on his motorcycle to go skinny dipping in a lake, which is so funny to me. But then Susanna has an existential crisis on their way back and kind of rests on the stairs, and then there's like this sweet emotional moment with Conrad. To close off the episode, this shit had me screaming, and I'm sure many of you as well. Belly's on one of her late night swims, and Jeremiah joins her. Jer confesses, and Belly's like, oh? And then they make out. Like, when I first watched it, I was like, oh my god, I am Team Jeremiah. But now that I've matured, it's just very obvious that she doesn't really feel anything for him, and I know he's gonna get over her really fast and date her brother. Also, Are We Still Friends by Tyler the Creator plays now, which I vibe with. Episode 6, aka my favorite number, aka one more episode until you don't have to listen to me ever again if you don't want to. Also, it's volleyball tournament time, so Taylor is coming back. Ooh, the episode starts with Belly having a little dream with both Conrad and Jeremiah switching places. Like, I think at this point it's kind of obvious Jer is just kind of like a Conrad replacement to her. But anyway, Conrad is with Cleveland for the job thing that he has. That was kind of rushed. But anyway, Conrad and Cleveland kind of have like this relationship now. And Conrad has a panic attack. As someone who's had panic attacks before this kind of hit hard, and I am really glad that it was depicted and dealt with pretty accurately in my opinion. Cleveland helps him through it and gets him to open up about his mom and realize not everything has to be on him, which is very, I assume, older sibling themes as well. Conrad comes back, Belly's there, and he apologized for his behavior, which nice, and asked to be her escort for the tip-off because Susanna asked him to for her, which she eventually finds out, and she was eventually like, Belly's like, I'll think about it, and Taylor is like, this is so good. It's gonna be so satisfying when you say no, right? She's Team Jelly now, and she's about to scheme in this episode. What is the period ship name, by the way? Like, you listen to Bonrad, and you see Jelly, and you also see Bam. Like, Bam. Bam. So it's tournament time, and Taylor is scheming left and right, talking to Steven, talking to Jer, and then pretending to twist her ankle so that Jer can step in during the game, which is sort of messed up, but it is so goofy, and I'm here for it. But anyway, guess what? Jer sucks. He doesn't have like the competitive spirit. Winning this means a lot to Belly. So, OMG, what do you know? She needs Conrad to step in. They are so good. They're synced with each other, and the whole thing is just shot really well, and it's one of the highlights of the show, honestly. Like, you can feel Belly's passion and that she knows what she's doing. But anyway, it's the two final teams of Team Belly, Team Shayla. They battle it out, and what do you know? Belly wins. Nicole invites Belly and Taylor to a little pizza and rosé party, a full fucking boat. Because reminder, this whole show is just rich people, and they play Put a Finger Down, and Belly's just there the whole time, like, and it's very silly. But there's just something about Lola in that scene that just had me. They go skinny dipping, and Nicole sees an incriminating text from Conrad on Belly's phone and pulls a parent trap and steals all of Belly and Taylor's clothes and drive off. I love women who don't support other women. All of that for Conrad. Why can't you fool a revenge plot instead? Meanwhile, Jer is all depressed from watching Belly and Conrad at the tourney and doesn't go to this big house party until he has this little bonding moment with Susanna, and he gets glimpses of how the cancer is affecting her. But then he goes to the party for some reason, and Conrad and Steven are already there. Jer comes up to Conrad like, hey, are you noticing shit going on with mom? And Conrad is fucking like, nope, you're crazy. So much is going on in this episode, and so hey, Nicole is back and confronts Conrad outside the party, and I'm so pissed at her for running off like that. She said this line that was so iconic. Moving on. Jer and Conrad to the rescue because the girls are butt-ass naked in the middle of the road near the woods at night. Taylor goes with Conrad, Belly goes with Jer, and she makes moves and gets to second base for Jeremiah, which was a nice parallel to earlier when they were doing Put a Finger Down, and she was just like, it's the middle of the night when the party is over by Billie Eilish plays, and Conrad hits her with the "you up," Belly confronts him, very done. He gives her the necklace. She's still done. Slay. Belly sings her heart out, and end of episode. OMG, it's finale time. I've got full lighting in my Sonys. It opens with that TikTok sound with the brutal violins, you know what I'm talking about, like I think it's called This Is What Falling in Love feels like. It was kind of a jump scare, but anyway, that's playing over dead ball prep. Everything is super gorgeous because it's a rich beach town. It's the morning of the big day, and yes, Laurel got Belly the more simple dress that she wanted. Belly likes a lot more and obviously feels more comfortable, and it's gorgeous. It's like absolutely gorgeous. Like it's silky, and everyone's getting emotional because it's dead ball day. You know who's also getting emotional in a different way? Steven and Shayla. So in the last episode, we saw Steven trying to be like a baller and play poker with Shayla's guy friends who he like wants to, he's insecure. But guess what? He kept losing, but also kept going. So he lost all of his money. So obviously Shayla's fucking pissed and eventually just settles on giving him her dad's tux. I love them. So for some reason, Conrad's trying to be all nice today. For what it's worth, Jar was the right choice. Steven comes back and sees Jelly being all lovey-dovey and makes the most wonderful, most brother-like reaction I've ever seen, and it never fails to crack me up. But Belly makes such a slight comeback as always. But when she says, "I pick Jeremiah," the like little xylophone tune that plays when she's with Conrad plays. The girls are getting ready. Nicole calls out Belly for being a fuck girl. They make up. Thank You Next plays, which was choice. The family is gathering. Jared keeps noticing more things up with Susanna, which is the dead ball starts. Belly slays. But can we please talk about Shayla's monstrosity of dress? She's literally introduced as an emerging fashion influencer, and they give her this. It's thin, it's wrinkly, you can see the strap things which keep falling off of her shoulder, by the way. They did my girl so dirty. Anyway, going back to Jer, he just decides to choose the worst time to bring these things up, doesn't he? Because he's been noticing things now. He pulls the talking about it in the middle for performance trope, which makes me want to rip all of my hair up. Anyway, the escort dance, it's cute. But after the escort dance, he fucking steals Susanna's phone minutes before the big, waltz dance. You can fucking steal her phone later. What the? Yes, I know you apologist. It's his mom and he's worried. I get it. But you should have enough common sense to wait. I don't know. So he finds out about his mom's cancer and cries outside. I have sympathy. I'm just pissed. But he's not the only one stirring the pot. Nuh-uh. Steven says this.
I mean, I don't know if you haven't noticed, but I don't exactly fit in here.
Steven.
No, I grew up in the suburbs of Philly, all right? Not even that nice of a suburb. I drive a Honda Civic.
Then Conrad steps in. This scene, the way that it's portrayed, their chemistry, the way that they look at each other, and the way I loved you. Well, shit goes down now. And Jared's like, hey, we need to talk to Conrad. And Conrad's like, it's okay, because obviously he knows. And Jared's like, oh my god, you knew. And then punches him, and then they duke it out on the ball floor. And then everything unravels. Everyone knows. Belly is heartbroken. There's a scene where like the family sobs on the bed, which like actually made me sob as well. And Funeral by Phoebe Bridgers is playing, by the way. I also had Phoebe from the opener. I'm qualified. And the biggest reveal at the end is that the boys convince Susanna to do the trial. We get a bittersweet ending with the family for the final scene. Belly and Conrad are on the beach. He apologizes and stuff. And you know, they kiss. Many times. I'm gonna be honest, that scene was gorgeous with this love playing in the back. Well, that concludes the end of the season. I have many thoughts, but this is a recap episode. It's not like an opinion episode, so I'm not gonna give those. If you have questions about like my thoughts or something, you could ask. But moving on to predictions. So when I planned on releasing this, only the teaser had come out, which made more sense to give my predictions. But now that I've read the second book summary online and know most of the things that are gonna be happening, I'm not really sure whatever I had to say is really relevant, and it's just a waste of time. So if you stay with me all the way now, thank you so much. I love you. Let me know if you'd be interested in season 2 live reaction / commentary, and let me know if you're team Belly, team Conrad, team Jeremiah, team Cameron, team Taylor and Steven, team Steven and Jeremiah, whatever. Sway me, I want to be swayed. Read a full ass essay on why I should be team Taylor and Belly. I don't know. Again, I love you. I'm sorry for all the weird audio and everything that's weird about this video. Enjoy season 2.